Okay, so at this point, I think we need to have a talk about the middleweight division because it isn't doing so hot. It really hasn't. It's been bad, and it's not just only recently become bad. It has been bad. The middleweight division has a history of being just shit, just being awful. I don't know why. And honestly, at this point, the only reasonable conclusion is that someone put a curse on the middleweight division. I don't know who, but I want to get to the bottom of it. Maybe that's for another fucking video. But um the division is bad, and I'm going to be talking about how bad it is. And honestly, no better place to start off with RDR, who fought this week and put a terrible performance. Like, if you want to define the middleweight division with a fighter, you can do it with a few fighters, and one of those fighters is RDR. When it comes to even when he's winning, he has this goofy style, which, like, at first I was coping, like, with DDP too. I was like, if it works, it works. But the reason the goofy styles work in the middleweight division, I mean, that really just shows how bad they are. That this goofy style can really only work in the middleweight division. I mean, Jiri can do it at light heavyweight, but still, like, he's fucking big and strong, dude, and he's not even that goofy. He's RDR is goofier than him, and I mean, he put a terrible performance against Allen. I mean, he had a full camp. Allen had like 3 weeks. It wasn't super short notice, but still 3 weeks. If you think anyone is gassing out, it's Allen. Like, and Allen has kind of showed in fights to kind of give up. That's one of the reasons I picked RDR. It's like Allen, he kind of wilts sometimes. Like, when he knows he's gonna lose, he'll kind of just accept defeat in ways he didn't here. I mean, he made RDR look like Allen, and Allen's another kind of mid fighter at middleweight, but he's somehow ranked four. Like, Allen would not be ranked four in any division. RDR wouldn't be ranked four in any division. DDP wouldn't be a champion in any division, but we'll get to DDP. But I want to talk about RDR. I mean, terrible. I mean, he literally lost. I've never seen someone quit like that. First, I want to say that he quit to being in full guard. I've seen fighters get beaten up. I've seen fighters, okay, get ragdolled, and they kind of quit on the stool, and they maybe accept a TKO. He quit on the stool after being held in full guard. You were in his guard. I'm sorry, I've never seen a fighter quit due to being in someone's guard for too long. Like, what? Like, I know. Listen, he was pulling submissions. He was body triangling himself on ground a lot. There are a lot of grappling exchanges. I get getting tired, but quitting while 90% of the fight was you on bottom on full guard is just horrendous and terrible. And even, like, if you want to talk about the guys he's beating, it makes them look worse. Like, you think Bo Nickel was bad? Listen, RDR fights Whitaker, beats Whitaker. You're like, okay, man, maybe Bo Nickel isn't that shit. He beat Whitaker, and then he fights Allen, and you're like, no, Bo Nickel is terrible. And not only is Bo Nickel terrible, but so is Whitaker, because how do you get beat by that? You're going to war with some flappy balloon boy who flails his arms and gets tired after a round of grappling. That's who beat you? That's terrible. But I already ranted enough in my reaction, in my recap to the card. So that's it for RDR. Big disappointment, and really just the embodiment of the middleweight division. But there is no better embodiment of the middleweight division better than fuck. Okay, no, that's for the next guy. First, I forgot. I want to talk about Hamzat first. Hamzat is the champion of the middleweight division, and he hasn't even been a middleweight for most of his career. He is a welterweight who moved up because he wants to eat too many cheeseburgers down at welterweight. So he was like, fuck it, let me go up to middleweight and beat these guys up. And I just want to say this: be ready for a reign that you have never seen in your life. This guy's going to go on a 10-fight winning streak. I mean, he's going to be every middleweight. Like, seriously, Hamza has no excuse to lose, really. Like, you're fighting middleweights who are, I mean, I kind of don't want to call them fighters. That, like, it gets to a point where it's like, I don't even want to qualify you as a fighter, but maybe that's a bit too extreme. But still, the fact that Hamza moved up from welterweight, and I know Letterman skill, but still, it is funny the fact that he was a welterweight. He moves up to middleweight, dominates Whitaker in round one. His toughest fight is Usman, a welterweight, on short notice, and then he dominates DDP, a middleweight who's terrible. So there is, like, no better example of middleweights being bad than Hamza having a tough fight with Gilbert Burns, moving up and destroying Whitaker. Tough fight with, I know Salah makes fights, but still, Tough fight with Burns, moves up, destroys Whitaker and DDP, who's way bigger than Burns. Oh wait, they're middleweights, so that really doesn't count. They're just shit. I'm at this point, I'm kind of convinced some lightweights can move up to middleweight and actually have a title run. I swear, Charles Oliveira. People are talking about him moving up to welterweight. Screw welterweight. Move up an extra division and just go on middleweight at that point because it's kind of free roam up there to get some legacy. You want some legacy? Move up to middleweight, dude. And yeah, I just want to say that this has to be talked about. Hamza Chimaev, welterweight, moved up to middleweight, destroyed everyone besides Kamaru Usman, and then becomes champion. And I also want to say this about the because this should affect the pound for pound rankings. I never want to see a middleweight in the pound for pound rankings ever. Hamza Chimaev is somehow ranked number 4. First, I want to say that before I was mad. Like, how are you ranked 4? You just became the champion. You just got the belt, and sure. You beat Burns, you beat Whitaker, you beat Usman, but still, you just got the belt. I don't think he should be ranked number 4. He really shouldn't be ranked number 4. Chimaev should be, ranked outside the top 10 in the pound for pound rankings because these middleweights are bad. They are really bad. You got to take in consideration that fact. The pound for pound rankings is supposed to be if everyone was the same weight, how would they compete against each other? That's what it's supposed to represent. And these middleweights would not compete. They would not be ranked top 15 in any division. Literally any, besides the top guys. But still, they would really get destroyed by any other fighter in any other division who's ranked. These guys are terrible. So take Chimaev out the pound for pound rankings. Don't care he's champ. He's champ in middleweight. That does not count. I don't count that as counting. I honestly count the BMF belt more than being a middleweight because at least, you're fighting some top guys, kind of like Max Holloway beat Gaethje to get the BMF belt. He's a lightweight. Say we want about Gaethje. He's a lightweight. That counts more than RDR somehow at this point. It counts more than DDP, who's a champion somehow. They're terrible. That's really the only explanation. They are terrible. They should not be in the pound for pound rankings, besides maybe the champ. But take DDP out the pound for pound rankings. I'm not even sure if I think he's still in there. He should be. He should have. Now he shouldn't. But, and arguably Chimaev shouldn't be in there too because you're fighting a middleweight boy. But next, I want to talk about DDP, who, okay, now this guy, he is the embodiment of middleweight being terrible. He is. Because this man was a champion, and we were talking about him becoming the greatest middleweight of all time with one more win. If he beat Chimaev, I would have considered him the greatest middleweight of all time. I would have ranked him above Silva because the run he went on. But looking back at that run, it really shows you how terrible these guys are. He KO'd Whitaker. Whitaker, what are you doing? His striking is fucking terrible. No, listen, I really like DDP. I want to say this. I'm a big fan of DDP, but I can't not shit on DDP after RDR. RDR made me completely just rethink the middleweight division. It's kind of, I don't want to make this comparison, but it's kind of looking at crime statistics. Dude, it's just over and over again. I notice patterns. I'm sorry, dude. I notice patterns, and one of the patterns I notice is middleweight is dog water, and they should be ashamed of themselves. How did you let DDP become a champion? Whitaker, you let this man KO you. Strickland, you let this man win a decision off you. Adesanya, you're supposed to be some kickboxing world champion, really good at kickboxing. You let this man not only outstrike you, but submit you on the ground with his goofy grappling. Literally. And then he dominated Strickland in the rematch. And then, all it takes is Chimaev moving up, destroys him completely, makes him look like a big baby, really ragdolled him. It felt illegal to watch that fight, to be honest. Even though Chimaev didn't do a lot of damage in that fight, he really had his way with him. And that does show you the fact that this man was a champion for not really a long amount of time, but he had really good wins. He had really good wins and good performances. And that really just goes to show how terrible the middleweight division is, or was, and still is, because he would not be a champion anywhere else. People were talking about this man beating Pereira. He would not beat Pereira. Literally, I think any welterweight moving up would be in DDP. I swear, any welterweight. Gilbert Burns, if he moved up, he would have been in DDP. I swear. I don't even, it's DDP, Next, the signs were there. I want to say this. The signs were there. This man is doing leapfrog fighting Adesanya. And by the way, that's not an insult to DDP as much as it is to Adesanya because he beat you with this style. He beat you with the big old leapfrog into a not even flying knee. He's just jumping. He's just feeling happy, so he's just jumping at you. Um, you let that man beat you, which says a lot about you and how dominant Adesanya looked when he was champion too, and I think Adesanya looked good in this fight too. I don't think he was really out of his prime in this fight, and still DDP beat him while looking not that good. I mean, he literally, I don't have that picture, but he literally face planted on the ground while trying to go for a takedown. The signs were there, and we ignored it because we were like, man, listen, it might be a little sloppy, but it works. It works because the guys he's fighting are terrible. That's why it works, and we just have to say that up front. Listen, I like DDP. But we have to say, it's not like that's just his style, bro. It's effective, bro. No, it's terrible. It's just bad. He's just bad. And he gets walked. He gets dog walked by any welterweight. I like DDP and I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him. Lucky he's a middleweight, dude. Because I like his personality. So good he's a middleweight because he can actually beat a lot of these guys. Because you think DDP is bad. He was a champion. He was good among the middleweights. Not with Shimai because he's a welterweight letterman skill. Next, I want to talk about Vettori. Vettori is still ranked in 2025, and I thought, I really listen. Vettori is going out of the rankings, but I do want to say this: if Vettori fights someone unranked, I don't care who it is, I don't care what prospect it is, I'm picking Vettori because I'm going to talk about this in a bit, but sometimes with middleweight, you just got to pick, okay, what would make middleweight look terrible? Like, okay, what would make middleweight look bad if DDP became champion? He's shit. I mean, he fights like it's his first year of training, becomes champion, beats Strickland, beats Adesanya, beats Strickland again, beats Whitaker. Like, you're like, oh shit, damn, okay. What would make middleweight look bad? Chimaev moving up and just destroying every middleweight he fights. Okay, well, he does that, so, but let me talk back. Let me talk about Vettori though specifically. Vettori is still ranked at the big 2025 somehow. We don't know. Actually, we do know it's middleweight. Like that's the only answer. It's middleweight. That's why he's the champion. I'm not the champion. That's why he did fight for a belt too, which goes to show how fucking terrible. How do you fight for a belt? Like what the fuck, dude? Vettori fought for a belt, and all he knows is a 1-2 and a crafty takedown, a crafty double leg that he can surprise you with. Dominated Kevin Holland, by the way. So I mean, how bad is Holland? But I'll talk about him in a while because I actually, I got some plans for him at middleweight. But anyways, Vettori, he's still ranked. Yes, he put a shitter of a performance against Dolidze, but he did better against Brendan Allen than RDR. Like Vittori was first when it comes to the grappling. He wasn't getting dominated like crazy. Allen was winning scrambles, but still I remember Vittori like getting on top for like some moments. Like he was doing decent in the scrambles and on the feet. He was hitting Allen with some decent shots. Yes, Allen won 30-27. He clearly won every round. Okay, sure. But still, Vittori, who's known to be ass, actually put up a decent fight against Allen in hindsight, which is funny. But again, it just shows you how terrible middleweight is. Vittori put up a fight, and he also fought for the belt, um, which is embarrassing. He fought for the belt. How did we let this guy fight for the belt? Oh yeah, it's middleweight. I forgot. Again, I'm sorry, but like, dude, he's literally wearing his pant. He's wearing his fight shorts backwards. Like, I know the meme, but like, still, they're just like, I don't want to talk about, you know what? Critical middleweight theory is real. These middleweights are inferior. Like I'm sorry, these middleweights are beyond cooked. They need to be locked in a jail cell and never to fight again. No, that is not a dog whistle. Shut up, don't get me canceled. Critical middleweight theory, bro. I'm calling it out now. That's the name of it. Critical middleweight theory. You heard it here first. I come up with these things. Vittori's terrible. He's brain dead. He has no striking besides a 1-2. Doesn't throw any kicks. I don't think he can throw a kick. I'm being genuine. I really don't think he's capable of throwing any kicks or any elbows or really anything besides a 1-2. I mean, maybe he'll develop a left hook at 40 years of age, but who knows? Who knows? These middleweights are just terrible. Next, there's a lot of recent examples, but I feel like an example that first, like when I was like, okay, these middleweights are bad. The first example I can think of is Darren Till, who was good at welterweight. He was good. Listen, he got KO'd by Masvidal, sure. Got KO'd by Woodley. Sure, wait, did he? He might have got KO'd by Masvidal. No, that was at welterweight. Yeah, that was at welterweight. But yeah, KO'd by Woodley. He looked decent at welterweight. Moves up to middleweight. Every fight at middleweight, he got progressively worse and progressively fat. I don't know. It's like middleweight is like a disease that eats at fighters. I don't know what's up with the middleweight division. It literally looks like someone put a curse on it because Darren Till was decent. Every time he fought, he got more shit. It's like some middleweight disease was eating at him to just, you have to be terrible, you have to be fat, and you have to have no skills. Don't let you learn takedown defense. Don't, like, literally just made him worse. I mean, he lost to Brunson, who at the time we thought Brunson was good. He was going through a fucking second prime. No, he was not going through a second prime. He was just fighting middleweights. That's literally it. Brunson was just fighting middleweights who he was able to beat because they were middleweights. And Brunson, somehow the middleweight division evolved backwards, so it looked like Brunson was in a second prime, which is embarrassing. I mean, look at the state of his face. Like, look at the state of his body. He's literally he literally has one, two, three flabs. This guy's a professional athlete, by the way. And listen, he's doing good now. Darren Till's doing good at Misfits, but still, he is one of the embodiments of middleweight being terrible. Look at that dude. He literally needs a bra. What is up? Look at the state of him. That's bad. What do I have next? I've Holland. First, let me talk about Till for a little bit. I just want to say this one thing. Actually, I don't. I feel I talked enough about Till. Let me talk about Kevin Holland. And you might be saying, well, Kevin Holland's a welterweight. He fought at middleweight and he looked bad. Yes, I do want to say this. I feel like Kevin Holland can unironically make a run at middleweight. And you might be like, hold on. He tried and he failed horrendously. Yes, but that is when Kevin Holland tried to be good. You can't be good at middleweight. That's like a rule. Like, that's a rule. You are not allowed to be good at middleweight to be successful. You have to be Vittori. You have to be Brendan Allen. You have to be terrible. Holland is terrible, and he has finally acknowledged it. No doubt we suck, you do, not we, you. Never bet on me again. I won't. And I need a head massage. Yeah, you probably do, because you got your ass beat. But still, Kevin Holland's a welterweight, and he has always been a 50-50 fighter. Lost to D-Rod, embarrassing loss. Lost to Malott. Malott is good, but still, didn't look good. He got completely outboxed. The reason I feel that Kevin Holland can make a middleweight run is because he's terrible. And I have learned that if you're terrible, you do good at middleweight. So my logic is telling me, okay, Kevin Holland shit, middleweight shit. If Holland moves up, he can actually put up a fight against some of these middleweights. Even though he lost to Vittori, still, I feel like he could. Another one here, another Kevin Holland post, Instagram post. You do suck. You do suck, but it's all right. The thing is that what's good about with middleweight is that it's a home for fighters who suck. So Kevin Holland, go up to middleweight. You'll feel right at home. You suck. We suck. Not me. You and the rest of the middleweights suck. But that'll be your new home, middleweight. And I actually think he'll do decent. I don't. Well, maybe he will. I don't know. Because I mentioned this early. But at this point, I think the best way to make predictions for middleweight, and I'm going to test this. I'm going to make a little test. The best way, and this won't always work, but sometimes you have to bet or make predictions on what will be worse for the middleweight division. What will make it look worse? RDR fought Brendan Allen. If RDR lost, that would make the middleweight division look so bad since Allen lost to a bunch of the top guys and RDR's new in the division, He got in the UFC pretty recently. So if RDR lost to Allen, the division will look terrible. Like, it really wouldn't have a good look on the division. But yeah, RDR loses. Like RDR loses not every top fight, but it has to be like an 80% rate where whatever makes the middleweight division worse ends up happening. It has to be an 80% pick rate. It won't be 100% success rate. Like, they don't want you onto their trails, but I'm onto it. I don't know what the UFC is doing with middleweight. Don't know what but there's something up to. I sense it. I sense something going on with middleweight. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna be picking whatever makes it worse. Like there are some few matchups in the future. I'm just gonna pick what makes it worse. What makes the middleweight division look worse. Adesanya versus Barallo. I want to pick Barallo. If Adesanya wins, it makes the division look worse. So I might just pick Adesanya. I'm not even trolling. I'm being 100% serious. Vittori, he's barely ranked, and what the UFC is going to do, they're probably going to give him some unranked prospect to get him unranked because Vittori sucks. If you want someone to get ranked, just give them Vittori. I might just pick Vittori because that would make the middleweight division look worse. Kopylov fights Costa. Costa looked to be kind of slipping and falling, in his career. He beats Kopylov and he beats him really clearly, makes the middleweight division look worse. It just seems like every fight makes the middleweight division look worse and worse. And at this point, there's not going to be a middleweight division. They're going to scrap it. Here, let me see how much I've been yapping for. Over 20 minutes of just shitting on middleweight. Oh, that's not enough though. I can go a little bit more. Yeah, I talked about, okay, let me find my trace. Okay. Middleweight division is bad. Just bet, dude. This is not betting advice, but just bet. Okay, I said this is not betting advice, but just bet on what makes the middleweight division look worse. I don't think you can go wrong. And yeah, these guys just suck. These guys really suck, which is why Kevin Holland should move up because he looked decent among these guys. He looked decent. He might give Victoria a run for his money if they fight again in a rematch. Might be DDP. And also, if Holland moves up, like you got to think about this. If Holland moves up, it becomes a top 10 ranked middleweight. That would make the middleweight division look worse. So my bold prediction for 2026 is Kevin Holland. If he moves up to middleweight, he will be in the top 10. He will be in the top 10. But yeah, these guys just suck. Yeah, I feel like there's one thing that I want to talk about that I completely forgot. I got brain fog. These middleweights are literally making me retarded talking about them. That's how bad they are. But yeah, these middleweights suck. That's it. That's literally the video. These middleweights suck. Not Kevin Holland. Hamza Chimaev. Maybe Allah is real because he's the middleweight champion. He's about to get 10 title defenses. Hamza, you have no excuse. I should see you be fighting 5 times a year because these guys are just bully victims. Like, you can literally steal their lunch money and they will fall on the ground in guard and they'll just invite you to destroy them. So, good luck, Chimaev. You don't need it. Don't know why I'm saying good luck. Good luck to middleweights. You guys suck and I hate you guys because you make me get my predictions wrong. Like, I think I'm going to make a logical prediction and I just get it wrong because of these middleweights. So that's it. See you guys in the next one. Next rant, little rant. These middleweights, bro. They need help. But yeah, see you.